it gets rid of melee in that thing.
The only other option I thought you could possibly done was like there's a feat that allows you to ignore a certain resistance.
Elemental Adept.
Yeah.
You choose a damage type, and I believe resistance is ignored, and then I think immunity is brought down to resistance. I'm not sure if that's in there. I think it just brings things down a tier.
It'll say on the feet. And I'm purposely not looking at it so I can't give people ideas.
Oh man, I just did that whole thing without
Well, that's all of us except from
talking. But yeah, we're back Saturday D&D playing Descent into Avernus still.
And you can treat any one on a damage.
Yeah, we leveled up. Yeah, we leveled up, did some stuff. Continuing stuff. Our guys are finishing their level up on their characters. We hit level 8. Finished up with a few things, and yeah. So I'm gonna double check with one guy so we can get our some of our stuff updated. But yeah.
Oh, and I imagine you took it when you picked. Oh wait, no, because we're in hell.
No, I did not because we're in hell.
The only
Smart idea.
Scenario where you don't pick Fireball.
Well, you can pick it. It's nothing.
Just still pick it. We're gonna find something that is not immune to fire.
Yeah, us.
It is possible. There are things.
We found some things down here that aren't immune to fire. It's just that most, like the vast majority of demons and devils have immunity and not resistance.
So
yeah, we're not immune to fire.
Before we get started, just to reinforce that I do try not to pull my punches. Last night I did have an almost TPK. I say almost because only one character is unconscious, but the other 2 characters are paralyzed with 2 hit points left. So
damn!
Did you end the session mid-combat?
I had to.
Otherwise, they were gonna die.
I've got a very specific situation in mind, but as you guys are already aware with what's happened in the past couple of sessions, and with this specific thing, I do try not to pull punches.
Yeah, devils just kept on coming.
By rights, I should probably just kill them all, except in this specific instance, I think this specific instance, it would be more entertaining for what I have planned to come up next. I can't go into details because it is technically an area you guys haven't gone to yet, so I can't get into details.
I mean, also for smaller parties. Also for smaller parties, like especially a party that's 3 players, coming from someone who's DMing a party of 3 players. 1, TPKs are easy to accidentally do in a small party. 1 and 2, it's just not fun for anyone involved because then you have to try to figure out how to integrate new characters into the story. They have to actually make new characters if they want to keep playing that campaign.
In this specific instance, it's very easy to integrate, and it's also very easy to fix things up a little bit.
It's easy. You're in hell. Once you die, your soul is somewhere in hell.
There's also a very real chance that your souls just go into like some kind of soul coin factory and get put in the
True.
Soul coin, you could become a Lemire. There's a handful of different things.
I did forget about the Lemire demons that come out of the river.
Oh yeah, guess what? Souls.
Oh no, that
Oh god.
I just forgot about them for a second. You said them and everything just flooded back in. But like you've seen my note map. I'm not keeping track of all of that in my head actively.
So I'm sorry. I know that we were discussing this, but what was this about elemental adept? That your spell ignores resistant to any damage type. What does that mean?
It's a feat. It basically choose one damage type. It ignores resistances of that type, and whenever you roll a 1, it becomes just an automatic 2.
No, you re-roll once.
It just said ones become 2s.
Well, okay.
You want us to reroll 1s.
I don't mind you re-rolling once. I mean, it's almost the same thing.
So that means if I choose the resisted as fire, then pretty much that enemy, like, it takes the damage of fire, right?
It's the full
If
damage.
But
bypasses
most things
It's
here
only-
are immune, which
yeah,
doesn't.
it bypasses resistance, not immunity.
Yeah.
It does not ignore immunity. So if it's resistance, which there have been a lot of, but
Yeah, we do have a lot of resistance of fire and a lot of other things. Do I have to call before, or I just have to choose
you have to
it?
call it when you pick the feat. Yes.
The
And it's
feat
permanent.
specifically says that you can choose the feat multiple times, and you choose a different damage type every time you choose the feat.
What I mean when I choose the feat?
I think
like,
usually what we're struggling with is actually magic resistance. Yeah, like
Yeah,
save
but we can't really do it.
advantages.
Everything
No.
is magic resistance.
Elemental different.
What
But
we're
most
getting
things
to this
have
point where a
fire
lot of things
immunity.
just have resistances. So.
No, it's not a bad feat to pick up. It's just very niche because a lot of things that we're going up against right now have immunity and not resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's like
If
annoying to
you-
deal with.
If you do choose it, let me know, and I'll quickly put it in the homebrew rules. And if you need to reference it at any time, I will put in a thing of Magic Initiate will reroll once.
I think I'm gonna go for Warcaster. I think that
Okay.
would be the
Fine.
best.
Warcaster's
fine.
never a bad choice.
Yeah.
Warcaster helps every single caster.
I was about to say, there's literally no downside to picking Warcaster.
Especially when I'm giving
Nope.
haste, I want to make sure that the brother doesn't go without.
Exactly.
Elemental adapt. It's like what is it? Like if you're focusing, I'm gonna be the pyromancer. I'm casting nothing but fire spells. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you give haste to your brother that turns him into a human nuke,
Yeah.
you can still
I do
focus
like
on
that a lot.
Listen, I'm aware of my spells and what they do, and if I have the opportunity to have the extra action, I'm going to exploit what they can do.
I mean, why not?
Oh, and I think you do it way better than me. So trust me, I am way happy.
I mean, eventually, it'll just get to the point where you have more opportunity than I do, because you just get better spells at higher levels than I do. Like, Guiding Bolt's also... I've said this before, and I'll say it again. For 4d12 damage and getting advantage on the next attack roll against the hit creature, Guiding Bolt should not be a first-level spell. It shouldn't. It's so powerful for a first-level spell.
you'll eventually run out of spell slots.
But you
No,
also
I know,
think
but if you cast it at 9th level, that's 9 plus 4. You get 13
the other thing,
d12 radiant.
the other thing you also have to keep in mind of is it is also from the divine spell list. How many actual damage spells on the divine spell list are there actually? Not a
Toll of the
lot.
Dead is their main cantrip on top of Sacred Flame and Word of Radiance.
Exactly. You
For
can
first level
you
spells,
can-
they've got
you can definitely live with having some slightly more powerful divine spells than you could with
Oh,
having broken
I'm
mage
not-
spells.
I'm not complaining that it's a powerful first level spell. I'm just saying, in my opinion, based on the power it is and how power scaling in the game works, it shouldn't be first level. Second's
In-
fine.
In any case, we're going to
Okay, hold on one tiny second. Because
Okay.
so for Gravity Sinkhole, like the first note it says, this spell requires the dungeon master's consent.
okay.
Oh yeah.
I think
Oh, because it's from Explorer's Guide to Wildmount.
I think I've had a look at this spell before. What? Tell me what it does.
I've asked for your consent a couple times.
Yeah,
What was my
I'll
answer?
put it there.
Like honestly, I can't remember my answer. It might change if it's not the same.
So I think the gravity one that just squishes, you said that was okay.
Ah,
I put it there on.
Hope
on chat.
hope everyone's having a
yeah. Crushing
weekend.
force slams into a point. Yeah,
Um,
sure. That's fine.
Yeah, we're just kind of getting
Okay.
10, oh my god.
finishing up some stuff,
Okay,
getting ready.
I'm
One
getting
versus
that.
finishing level.
Keep in mind, it is
Leveling up.
only a 20-foot
Um,
radius sphere, and I do count that 20 feet up as well in height.
It means you can't fly above the
up
gravity sink
that
or
a
else it
little
pulls
bit
you
more.
in.
You can. It just has to be above 20 feet.
There we go.
No, I mean, like, you can't fly, like, directly above it. Like, you have to fly above the
But yeah,
threshold.
Yes.
I think we're about ready to get into
But
this,
if you fail
and
if you succeed the save, you
um,
can fly through it, I guess.
I will have all of the other stuff updated here
Well, I just chose it.
Because you're not
Um,
pulled on a successful save. You just...
at the break,
Take some
or
force from
at
gravity
the
at
break.
you.
I'll get all that updated so we can finish that. That way I can ask
I
everyone,
think you
double
only
check with
take the
everyone's
damage
stats
if
so
you fail.
that
On a
bottom
successful
left
save, the creature
you'll be
takes
able to
half as
see
much
that
damage and isn't pulled.
updated correctly.
I
Um,
was
as we go.
midway through reading.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay,
Um,
so
I was-
I
I'm
got
pretty sure everything
49.
above first level that has a save is half.
I was gonna say,
You know-
are you sure you want that
I was
spell?
thinking,
Because
like,
it is
that
a
sounds a
saved
little
spell.
wild.
Well,
But
that's
it's
why
okay.
I think cantrips and first level spells that have saves, like some first level spells are half, but like for the most part, cantrips and first levels are like all or nothing. And then anything above that is half.
All right. So, is everyone all good? Everyone's happy?
Yep.
Did
Yes,
we long
I'm good.
rest?
I'm getting to that, and yes,
Good to know.
he will be long resting. I gather.
Hopefully.
Unless you guys pull something random.
Yes, I want to
So,
fly away on 2 HP.
So, Siren's Gate's up and running again, in case anyone's forgotten. I've already warned, made another warning about actions and livelihoods, etc., etc. If there's anything pressing that you guys need to talk about, that you guys need to let us know, yes or no. Silence is golden. In that case, does anyone want to recap where we're up to?
We killed a bunch of demons and devils that came into the sword tower. And we found 9 rods labeled Solar Insidiator Rod 1 through 9. And there are also 9 floating monuments connected to chains around Elturel, and 9 chains that dragged Elturel to hell. Also, the code for the safe was 666 because haha funny.
Legit though, it was vanilla.
But like, Agnes set off an alarm.
Yeah.
That's really it. That's what happened. Combat was most of last week's session.
Yeah.
Yes.
That it was.
It was
Currently,
a lot
you
of
were.
combat, though.
So just to extrapolate a little bit, you were on your way over to the spawning trees, or attempting to get to the spawning trees across the
That it
river
is.
Styx.
Polo.
Upon reaching the river Styx, you decided to head in a southerly direction, whereupon you reached the wrecked flying fortress and encountered the last couple of sessions worth of combats.
But we also stole motorcycles from the people that tried fighting us. That's another thing.
Yeah, they had 2 bikes.
Yeah, don't forget about
We
the
also
bikes.
found 12 keys.
9
or
keys.
12, whatever they call it, like 12 metal or something.
It was
Oh
9.
yeah, no, those are the Solar Insidiator rods. We found 9 of them.
Yeah.
9.
To add to the pile of adamantine rods somebody has to carry around. Poor schmuck.
Yes.
Yep.
Alright.
Also, I would
Exactly.
like to say I am on one of the motorcycles.
Did we
So,
climb
like,
down?
motorcycle. I'm saying when we climb down.
Oh, okay.
So,
I don't
We
know
did
if we
take
had
a long rest during the last session's points.
Yeah.
yeah. So, you do find yourselves. So, would you have made your long rest on the road or on the fortress?
I think at the end of last session, Agni pulled up the rope, so I would say probably in the fortress, and then we would put
Yeah.
down the rope, climb down, head out.
Okay.
We had a nice room full of giant elk to sleep in.
That's right. We cuddled up on the elk.
And then we woke up and we were cuddling with each other because the elk disappeared.
Just disappeared.
Yes.
That's right.
So, as you all come to,
That's how we
when
did
you
that.
see the beautiful expanse of the scorched hellscape in front of you, you find yourselves slightly stronger than you were before. Whether or not that's through your experiences or just an illusion of might, that is yet to be decided.
I mean, we killed a warlord.
So, you look, as you look around, I'll just move us over to that map. Where is it? That one. Alright. So, I'm just gonna get rid of half this stuff. Okay. Set up there.
Bring the bike back.
Ah, you stole one of our motorcycles.
Yes, I did.
Can you also
It ran
give us
away.
the stat Can you give us the stat block for the bikes? I don't know if they have any like abilities, but like also just so I know how much HP it has.
I can definitely do that for you.
Cool.
Okay. It's the Devil's Ride.
I know
right?
there's the thing about them like falling over and needing strength checks to pick up.
Valid.
Mhm. Supplemental narrated. Where is it? Where is it? That's the one I want. There you go.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a jump button.
Mhm.
Like Kit from Knight Rider.
And a dodge. This is the best motorcycle.
Hey, you can do a stunt too.
Yes. So,
Oh, you've got a juke reaction? Hold up. Also, you
How
get
many more?
you get half cover if you're driving.
kids
Nice.
and toys, I swear.
How many motorcycles do we have?
Got two.
That too.
There are
And
two.
Alden has one. Who has the other one?
If no
There
one else will.
is. There does. Nah, it's all good.
I was thinking of asking for one, but if you want it, Ogma, I'm cool with it.
I also don't have to have one. I just thought it would be cool if you want the motorcycle.
The two
So,
warlocks.
Frankly, I don't know if I'll have any success driving it. I don't have the land vehicles or anything like that.
Oh, me neither.
I have Tinker's Tools, which is what we use when we don't have it. Or we use some kind of tools, and I have proficiency with all tools, so I'm fine driving one.
I just wanted to volunteer because I am very willing to pop a wheelie and crash and burn.
Okay, then that's totally you, Ogba. I think
Okay.
a flimsy wizard will not. So yeah, go ahead and take it. I like the wrecking ball.
As a DM to players, there isn't much left in this place. There is still definitely a few things here and there, but you don't have to stick around and explore every and looking for any of this place.
On
we
that note,
find
is
all the
this
other
some
things?
place we would have had to come eventually? Is this like a story location that we happened into?
Technically, yes. Did you have to come here? Probably not, but it was a very high up there chance you would have come here.
Okay.
Good to know. We
At
really
least by
just
vanilla
speed run it.
reasonings. At least by vanilla reasonings. It adds another option for how you might finish this campaign.
Okay.
We never really explored out this way.
No.
Okay.
We haven't explored like any of it for this
I wanna
kind of
listen
main
through
floor.
the store.
Yeah, so just don't push any buttons like I did.
No, I'm listening through the door first instead of walking up to the panel and pushing a button.
Well, I did look at the door first. If you remember, I look at it. I open it very careful. There was a freaking button in there. What am I supposed to be do?
As you
Always push the big
approach
red button.
this area, I'll reread this text, whereby you see a chamber containing a stripped-down metal console and several rusty pipes that extend from floor to ceiling. One of the pipes has a 2-foot-long gash in it. As you do proceed around the other side, around the back of it, however, you do see a hall containing three. This hall has 4 doors leading off.
Oh. I see one, and I imagine this is 2. I guess this is 3 and 4.
Correct.
Alright, so I'll go up and just listen through all the doors. I'll take the 9 on the first one.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do the rolls and you tell me what I hear unless something happens.
You don't hear anything. I'm gonna use the same roll for all of them. You don't hear anything behind the doors.
In which case, I'm gonna open the one on the end first.
Okay. You look inside. You see a small room, and you see a closet, I suppose you might say, with a miniature console and chair bolted to the floor. These consoles have keys and seem to function like infernal typewriters.
That store.
Much the same.
What is an infernal typewriter?
You have no idea.
Can I try to see what, if I can decipher what is it?
Sure. I'll take
These
you
guys
up
fucking newsies?
here.
Is that the
You walk, as you have a look at this infernal typewriter,
ooh.
you walk up to it, and in your inspection of it, as you press a key that's in front of you, do you read infernal?
No, I do not.
You
No,
press
I
a
do
key with some sort of symbol on it, and then you watch as something moves, something mechanical behind it moves, and it seems to want to impress that's some sort of symbol onto something that isn't there.
Oh, come on, come here. We need your language.
not. It's no goo, we promise.
Well, now I'm less interested, but I'll read the
We'll get
infernal
you.
anyway.
We'll get you some goo later. You have some goo in the car.
I did just get 20 iron flasks of goo. I'm okay for now. What's the infernal all about? Is this an alphabet?
It is.
So it's literally just.
I type fuck and I turn around.
Although there isn't any paper or sheet to be impressed upon, but it seems to operate as much as you expected.
Well, do you guys want me to like write your memoirs or something? Or are we moving on?
No, I hear 4 distinct clicks and knew exactly what Agma wrote, and I just walk away.
Do they seem like they just like stays there, right? It doesn't send any messages to anywhere else. Like, you got mail. Fuck.
Roll an
Thanks.
insight check, or roll a. Yeah, roll an insight check.
Inside. Oh wow, 2 in a row.
What
Wow.
the fuck?
What
No.
the? That's
What a
it
way
for
to
the rest of
start.
the night. I know.
No,
You peeked, go
you
home.
sort of see how these things function. You know that these are there is definitely specifically something that needs to be imprinted upon. This is not something that would automatically happen to something else.
Agnes peeked on low stuff. She's gonna die next combat. She's gonna roll nothing but nat ones.
There is a peek behind the curtain. I must destroy this character.
I think this is kind of similar to what Roland's assistant uses at home to write his messages.
You lived with Alfred and you don't remember his fucking name?
You think Roland has
No!
a butler but not a stenographer?
I was gonna say secretary.
assuming
but
that
you're
they're not the
supposed
same
to say
person?
secretary anymore. You're not supposed to say secretary anymore, so that's why I say assistant, office assistant.
Are you implying that Roland isn't Roland's friend? I literally just
Now
said that
who's
Alfred
forgotten his name? Huh.
Are you implying that Alfred is not the assistant in every respect?
Ooh, tell
He
me
spends
more,
half
brother.
his time
What have you
fetching
heard?
you idiots tea. What else can he do?
Alfred's
True
in
that.
bondage.
Is there anything else that you guys want to explore while you're here, or is you guys want to move
We
on?
checked this door, yes.
Yeah, it just leads into the adjacent room. Like this door leads into the room that is open here.
Yes, in case.
Oh yeah, I see that now. Alright.
Yeah, no, I'm ready to leave. These guys are newsies. They're fucking lame.
There was another door down here, right?
Was
we
there?
could look into. There was a door behind the guy we killed, yeah.
Yes, that's already been sorted. That's why you got your.
Yeah, that's where we found the keys.
That's
Yeah.
you? Okay. I'm ready to go. we just want one of the shiny people to stay up here and fly down the rope once we're done.
The rope is still tied up here. We just pulled it up.
Yeah, it's still tied. We
And
just
how
need to
do you
drop it.
plan to get it back?
I just had a flashback of Felix's making us do
We have
dexterity
plenty of
check for climbing ropes, and me falling. and
Yay,
falling down.
12 month.
I hope Andrew's.
Thanks
not
for the
gonna do same.
resub.
So, Agnes,
Woo woo.
Roll dexterity.
Insane 12 months. 12 months,
Really?
guys. Crazy.
you
This
make
is
your
a
way.
long ways down.
It is. It is. You can climb down. You can leave the rope there, but if you attempt to try and recover your rope, you need to try and decide how you're going to descend. It is.
You said we're
climb down.
80 feet off the ground,
Yes.
and we've set the precedent that Misty Step does not get rid of your velocity while falling.
Correct.
Oh wait, we did take a long rest, right?
Yes, you get
Yeah.
plus.
Are you really about to Radiant Soul just to fly down?
You can
No.
just leave the rope. You do have more rope.
We
Yeah,
do.
Let's just leave the rope. We have soul coins.
It's
we can
only
buy more.
100 feet.
I have 100 feet of
We
rope
also
myself.
have regular money. We don't have to spend the very valuable currency I need 100 of.
Yeah, but they
Why do
don't
you need
take.
100 soul points again?
I have 100 feet of
we'll
rope
get to it.
myself, so.
Trust me, when I get it, you'll know.
I mean, so we tied it to a rock, right?
It's on the balcony
It
somehow.
wasn't tied off to a rock. It was more tied off to one of the supporting structures of the metal consoles behind you.
Of like one of these things,
Yes.
Yeah.
and we couldn't see those from the bottom, right?
No.
Okay, never mind then. I was gonna try to just like Eldritch Blast the console and just take the rope, but that's not a good idea. Okay, we can just leave the rope. If you want. We can burn the rope so that no one knows we were here.
True.
I'm
I
sure.
don't
No one's
foresee
g-
us
no one's
coming
gonna-
back.
No one's gonna judge fire on a building in the middle of a firestorm.
No. We
Well,
can
I mean,
definitely
I
just
could
light it.
waste- I could waste a spell, but do I want to?
I don't want, like, I know that we're gonna be traveling, but I don't want to waste any materials just because it's not worth it.
No.
Alden, roll me an insight check. Or a nature check.
I'll say insight because I'm proficient in that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No one will ever know that you were here.
Nice
Yeah, I'll just-
juxtaposition with the twins there.
Just burn the rope.
Sorry.
So, you all make it down. You'll make it downstairs. You'll get to the bottom of the rope. Jump in your new war machine, or war machine plus bikes. Alden, you do
Alden
set
and Agma
fire.
are the ones riding.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do set fire to the rope. I take it.
Yeah.
And eventually it does take, and then slowly climbs up the rope. And you take off back across the plains. So, which direction would you be heading? Back the way you came, or a bit more toward the river potentially?
Is there still a cliff between us and the river, or has that like plateaued when we found the wrecked fortress? Because I remember the reason we went to the fortress was there was a cliff that dropped into the river.
It's hard to say. Until you get to the river, it's hard to say.
Okay, say we ride along the riverbed until we either see combat or see a plateau, or a ferryman, whichever comes first.
Or, yeah, some type of crossing.
We need a place where we can cross relatively safely.
I liked that your mind jumped to Evil Knievel Bridge first before
Mhm.
just a guy with a boat.
Before
Like
you
this
went-
up
Who's
here?
driving the main vehicle?
I can. I've got
Okay.
proficiency.
And then me and Agma are driving the bikes, so we got 3 rolls now instead of just the 1, because we're all stealing vehicles.
Okay. Since the firestorm is still existing, I need a roll a dexterity saving throw. A group one for the main war machine and individuals for your bikes.
Okay, so this is bike. Ugh.
I assume we're out of Nuzalug's range.
Yeah, probably.
So, whoever's on the war machine. Alden. Who was it? Who else was on the bike?
Ogma.
Ogma. So that's a 3 and a 12.
Perfect.
I would be in range of new, would I?
You would be.
Okay, so
everyone
That's
else,
15.
15 for
everyone
mine.
else, your dexterity saves will be considered a group. So, if Felix can roll, please, and same with Agnes, sorry.
Why am I rolling?
Those
Because
group
you're part of
checks
the
are
group.
averaged. So, but it's all the +3, so it's 15, 11, and then whatever you roll.
Because you're part of the group.
Oh, and we love you, buddy.
Hey,
15,
Fantastic.
11, and 19.
News or Luke,
Take
you
it.
brought up the average. Thank
Woo!
you.
It brings the average to 15. Because it's a +4, -4 difference.
So, the people in the main machine, there is a loud impact as you cross the plains, and the structure of the machine seems to absorb any impact of what just happened or occurred outside. For those people on
Good.
bikes,
Ooh.
Alden and Ogma are learning the importance of road leathers.
you
They are
take
very
The
important.
slide, not the ride.
in fire damage. So if you have resistance to fire damage,
You're not.
Just
Nuzalug's the only one who has resistance to fire.
36 points of
Oh,
fire
God.
damage.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
Fire descends down from as a ball of fire descends down from the sky and impacts
What the-
within a very close proximity to your travels.
That's how the other group
Oh,
did
boy.
almost TPK.
No, this was not. This isn't even in the area.
Oh my god, I
Oh.
am so glad I did
Can I
not roll
immediately
that bike.
perceive? Can I immediately perceive where this fireball came from?
You look up,
came
it
from
is
storm.
it is a roiling firestorm that is
Okay.
just in a perpetual area around you.
Okay,
We
I
were
don't know,
dodging
someone
them
threw
on
a-
the way in, but we were collective and not on easily cooked motorcycles.
Oh yeah, no, I just made a deck save for the or I just made a note for like how much damage that deals. Actually, hold up, the bike.
Yes. So, bikes.
Like no, well the bike has a
the reaction.
So,
the reaction we can give it advantage on a deck saving throw. You just didn't give us access to the stat block.
I didn't. Did
No,
I?
you just gave us the bio and info.
Okay. Let me
Yeah.
fix that up, and if you guys want to roll that again,
Yeah, they get a advantage on dex saving throws.
Can we decook?
16.
It got worse.
yeah, Alden, you succeed. You can
Okay.
remove your damage. Avernus,
Oh.
you still take the damage.
27 health left for me. Let's
God.
get onto it.
That juke reaction coming in clutch.
Oh man.
There you go. There's your
I
stat.
love that the reaction is just called juke. That's
Yeah.
the funniest part to me.
Yep.
Alright.
Does half cover boost dex saves? I
No.
know we're really rules lawyering hard.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't.
+2 to your AC.
Good try.
Saves the saves.
Good try.
So, you do, however, find your way back out from away from the wrecked fortress, mostly back toward the way you came. I'll say that we're going to put that there. So, You could continue up and around the river. Or you could follow the river further south.
We at a point where we can cross where we are? Like, are we level with it?
You are on a slight rise. It's not. This specific area is definitely raised up from the river itself.
Oh, hi,
Do we
Ed.
want to try to find
The
more
tank
level ground?
doesn't have a jump button.
No.
No, it doesn't.
Do we want to try to find more level ground?
How high are you up, Felix? You're roughly about 20 feet up from the river.
Because if we fly high enough, it doesn't matter if the tank has a jump button or not. That's my thing.
Yeah, then it's just up to the shocks and if you survive the landing.
Yeah, I don't want to risk trying to Evil Knievel this thing over the river.
Yeah. Diesel Luke will say, "You guys got a better idea? We've been driving for forever. We still found nothing."
We have covered maybe a third of the river, but
Well, a third of the river on this level.
Yeah.
So,
I'm waiting for her
we
answer
started
back.
somewhere around
Diesel Luke is
here,
like,
yeah.
well,
Originally.
would you head around? Would you head
We
that way?
went from the bone brambles like straight over, so we kind of went. I think we literally went here,
That way. Oh,
Yeah.
and
pretty
then
much.
we found that this was a cliff, and we went here.
Pretty much.
And now we're like what, like here-ish?
You went back this way.
Oh, okay.
For DM, just a little bit of DM Fiat. You're going this way
There is like a small.
because there isn't
crossing
anything
here.
else down this way.
okay.
There is a
There's
small
what?
crossing over here.
There isn't anything else down this way, so I'm
if we're assuming this
DM
map is
Fiat. I'm giving
correct.
you guys going. You went back up this way.
We're assuming.
Okay, if we're assuming the map is correct.
We have
which-
been told Avernus is specifically confusing, but
Yes.
the fortress was where the fortress is. Bone brambles are on the map.
It does look like that this is where the fortress is, but it also looks like the shortest crossing and our best chance to get the vehicles across.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Try heading up that way. See if we can find a narrower part of the river.
Yeah, in for a penny.
Sure.
Let me check what's the movement speed on the
Right.
Devil's Ride.
'em.
120, oh my god.
So, you proceed around the river, following. Can I have... just roll me a d20. You've still got about half a day's worth of travel in this.
There's only a D20.
Whoever's driving. One of the drivers, put it that way.
I assume the bikes are following Ag.
I was
Just
about
a
to say,
flat
I just say
D20?
When it comes to like whoever's driving, we just default to the big vehicle.
Yeah,
No.
that seems reasonable.
Okay.
We
A 4.
pull up Avernus traveling mechanics.
I do have another
You-
idea, but you guys don't like it, so I'll hold off on it.
You do continue. As you continue on, the sky starts to darken, and then in the distance you do see a cloud of dust and sand start to rapidly approach.
Dust
Oh,
storm.
it's a sandstorm.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, we'll look for cover.
So, do you look for cover? Do you want to try and push through? What would you like to do?
Well, what does the guys on motorcycles say?
They're the ones who are going to be
Oh,
battered by
okay,
this.
looking for cover.
Yeah, let's look
Roasted,
for
I'd
cover.
prefer not to be buffeted by sand.
They already got 36 of fire damage. Not did.
Yeah, this ain't
Yeah.
fun. I'm not a ground type. I don't want to get buffeted.
Roll a survival check. For those people who are someone outside looking for cover.
I'm just not high rolling today.
It's okay. Well, it is hard to find any. You're looking around, trying to find a decent area of which you can stop to find cover from the storm. But there's barely any cover in this desolate land. As you continue looking, the sandstorm hits.
Are we able to take cover in like the tank?
You could.
Yeah, I start knocking on the top of the tank and open up.
I am
I guess
tying my motorcycle to the side of it so we don't lose it.
Yeah,
As I hear you, so I open the hatch and let you in, or how the door opens.
As you guys are let in, I'm gonna say you're able to dock solidly at least one of the bikes. The other one does have to be sort of left outside to the elements.
Well, we'll see what
We'll
happens.
dig it out before we kick
I
off.
have the mending cantrip. It's fine.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
So-
it actually does. It can fix any breaks under a foot long.
So, the storm continues. You guys are inside. You hunker down.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the battering of the sand and the wind. And this proceeds on for a day, at least. What
Should we
feels
actually
like a day
discuss
in
how to
this place.
cross this stupid river?
Or what feels like a day in this place.
I don't have any utility spells that can get us across, if that's what you're asking, Felix.
You mentioned
When-
an idea we wouldn't like. Do you want to just run it by us anyway?
The only reason I suggest, I don't think we're gonna have enough rope for this. The only other thing I can think of is zip lining across, but I don't think I have enough rope, and that would leave behind the vehicles, which I know you guys don't like that.
So, when the storm finally abates and you sort of look outside, you see that the sand has definitely ridden up a bit on your war machine. The bike that you left unsecured to the base of this machine looks a little worse for wear, but is still there. I'm gonna consider this as I have a look at the stat block.
There is a whole mishap system, huh?
Yes, there is. So, for one of the machines, can I have one of the drivers roll a d20, please?
Go
He's
for it,
walked
Agma.
away. I'll roll it.
Okay. An 18. Alright. So, when you finally do turn it back on, after clearing a lot of the debris that has built up, you turn it on, and the vehicle grinds and shakes uncontrollably. Until this mishap ends, this vehicle has a disadvantage on all dexterity checks and ability checks and attack rolls made by creatures on or inside this vehicle.
Ooh, good to know.
By creatures on or inside the vehicle have disadvantage. So let me just read this out. The vehicle grinds and shakes uncontrollably. Until the mishap ends, the vehicle has disadvantage on all dexterity checks, and all ability checks and attack rolls made by creatures on or inside the vehicle have disadvantage. As you go to inspect it, this is a damaged axle.
Okay.
Somebody has mending, right?
We have one artificer who's still conscious. Do we want him to try and de-shake the bike?
Yeah.
You're muted.
You're muted, and we need you.
I was gonna say before I left that I'm going to cast mending where I can on the bikes.
It makes it a bit more rideable, but there is something mechanical that you need to actually physically fix with it.
I'll take off the side panel and look at it.
Sure. There is a damaged axle from buildup of gunk to just something that might need a couple of whacks here and there. It's definitely, you need to be able to do something to this.
I use a... Do you think it would be Tinker's or Smith's tools to fix?
Your choice.
Alright.
Have a bardic either way.
Well, thank you. Open the character sheet. I'll take the bardic. It's a D8 still, right? It's not a D10 yet?
Yeah, D8.
D8. Tinker's tools. Intelligence or dexterity?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. 13.
I have to have some questions while he's doing this. Are we next to the river?
The river is definitely within sight. You have been traveling within sight of the river.
Just in sight? Okay. Those are
And
good things.
We're not like riding the river bank, but we're not straying too far.
But I know what you're about to ask, and the river seems to be unperturbed by the sandstorm. There is no build-up of any gunk or anything within it. Whatever.
The river doesn't have a sandbar, unfortunately.
No, I was gonna ask. I was actually gonna ask a few other things, actually.
Okay.
But if I just walk towards it, how long will it take?
I'm gonna say whilst this machine is getting fixed, you should be able to walk there and back.
Okay.
This repair
And
job will probably take a small while out of your day.
Okay, and I want to go to the list of steps, so bear with me. This is a fiery river, right?
This is not a fiery river.
Okay.
This is... It looks like water, but to your paladin senses, this is not water. This is
Okay.
something else. Something primal, something dangerous, but something natural.
What do you
so
guys
I'm gonna do-
think it is, chat?
I'll go do
What do you
these
think the
in
river's
certain
made out
order.
of?
So, okay, first I'll take my javelin. I'll
Okay.
take it straight down as far as I can.
It just keeps going.
Okay. And I pull it out.
As
Okay,
soon
and I
like
pull-
you can see like a foot maybe out where it
Could
just
very
sort of
be.
you can see
I thought it was going to be
the
like
ground,
blood or something
but
like that.
then it just seems to disappear and just drop into nothingness.
Okay, I pull the javelin out. Does anything happen to the javelin, or does it look the same?
I'm gonna
Has
say
it been Achilles?
so. I just need to double check a couple of things, but as far as I believe, nothing happens to your spear, and that's what I'm going with.
Okay. Next, I pull out one of my jars of holy water and pour it in to see if anything happens to it or not.
I think
Nothing,
that these interactions is kind of funny, Andrew.
nothing happens.
Okay. Okay, no steam, no nothing.
Well, maybe a little bit of steam, but
Okay.
overall nothing. Like it's not like it's not like something unholy being repelled by something holy, if that's what you mean.
Okay, now this is the next thing. This is probably my last thing. There's one test things. Okay, I will now cast Armor on Agathis on myself.
I knew something like this was. I think I know what you're about to do, and I was wondering whether or not anyone would do this. Keep going.
Well, I'm only going to take my left arm and put it into the
Oh, no.
river.
Yes.
But
Okay.
you need both arms for swinging Holy Avengers, right?
I'm not.
No, Holy Avenger can be any sword type.
Okay. You put your hand into it.
Yep, left hand. Is that
Okay.
my non-dominant hand?
Sorry, I'm just quick.
Oh, no.
So I'm just quickly reading this. Yeah. Or touching its waters. I need you to roll a DC 20 for a intelligence saving throw.
Oh
And
no.
Is this magical?
Yes.
Okay, I do have advantage. Oh,
20,
Yep, I passed.
21, no,
Very
22.
good.
Oh,
Something within the river seems to pull at you. Not physically. You feel through your left hand something ethereal trying to be pulled along with the current, something that is intrinsic to you. And through a full strength of self, you're able to wrench that feeling back and resist whatever effect was about to happen.
he's like, even the rivers have minds of their own. Okay. But I want to test out all my theories out, so thank you.
That's all good. Like I said, I was wondering if someone would do, and yeah, I have an entire paragraph or 4 paragraphs about the river Styx.
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
will
I'm just
say,
trying to
out of everyone to put their hand in the river Styx, I was not expecting it to be Nuzaluk.
No.
I agree with that.
Frankly, he was the
I thought it was gonna
smartest
be
choice,
Ogma.
though.
Are you gonna
Okay.
drink
He
the
beat me
water,
to it.
Ogma?
Please
oh
don't.
god. Don't give him ideas. Don't
So,
give him
anyway.
ideas.
Yeah, I will go back to the group now. I'm like, don't touch the river itself. There's some kind of presence in that water.
You don't say.
There's a twinkle in Ogma's eyes, but he doesn't run off yet.
Alden
Oh.
ties a rope around Ogma's
Yes.
waist and then ties it to Nuzaluk.
Eldon,
I'm not a leash kid, come on.
your time tinkering with this bike hasn't alleviated the problem.
I'm gonna give it one good kick where I think the problem is.
It hurts your foot.
Just
I
like
just
that.
have to leave it.
From engineer to
5-10
mechanic.
damage.
You take 1 point of damage. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, my foot.
But
Hey, engineers also kick stuff a lot.
I broke my fucking toe.
completely sideways, I once kicked a brick, I broke a toe.
Just like
There's a
Aragorn.
story.
Toes
That's as much as I'm gonna say.
and fingers are surprisingly fragile.
Yes.
Anyway, as Felix walks back from the group and you hear a dull thud as Alden kicks a bike, you can proceed onwards if you wish.
We may have to
I
leave
just
one
have-
bike behind. Actually, wait, you said it's still rideable, right?
It's still rideable.
Yeah,
just
it
have-
just gives you disadvantage on deck saves and attacks.
Like attacks against me while riding it, or I have disadvantage on attacks while riding it?
While riding it, you have disadvantage, and attacks made against you have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Alden kind of like sighs, gets me, he's like, I'll ride the beater. He like casts mending to fix up the outside so it at least looks like it's okay.
Sure.
So you can sell it later on the black market.
Yeah.
I can
What you
cast
do here.
illusions to make the inside look like it's okay too. You'll never know.
So,
Guess what? I actually forgot to mention. Is my arm still the same after before I put it in there? Water?
your arm is the same. There's nothing deformed about it. You
He's a
just
devil.
felt something. You felt like part of your ethereal self was trying to get pulled away.
You stuck your hand into primordial soup.
I want to see what it was exactly.
It is definitely some funky stuff. Let me tell you.
What is the distance you say is from this narrow point?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, we don't know. We're not there.
So,
Or
You
within
can
walking distance from the river.
yes, but across the river, it's hard to say.
I might just transform into like a giant eagle or something. Just
Curious?
kind of. Uh-huh.
Well, the only thing
I mean-
the only downside is another group will say this is that they will leave the vehicles behind. But
At least to investigate.
Bike
Sorry.
I
can
was-
clear 60 feet. We've got the two of them. Are we willing to test?
I'm okay with that.
I can fly. So if it looks like I'm not gonna make it, I can just ditch the bike and Radiant Soul.
I can Radiant Soul, I can Misty Step, I can Polymorph. So
I also have Misty Step too. If it's like 90 feet and I can clear 60, I can teleport the last 30.
yeah, so I do have options too, so we can try it.
Alden, risk the shaky one, and we'll see how math plays out.
So we're evil Knievel like this.
So you're going to try and cross the
Mostly,
river, flying.
We'll go to the river and see what happens.
Okay.
But we don't know how long the distance is until we get there.
Okay.
Are there any logs around the river, like dead trees or anything?
In this specific area.
She wants to build a bridge.
Yeah,
Or,
or at least
Valid.
a canoe for the
Uh,
vehicles.
this specific area
Canoe
is
that can
more of a
hold-
desolate landscape. Even now, you're sort of still on like an edge of this firestorm. You gather whatever was here before. This firestorm has completely wiped it out. There is no trace. It is of anything that was here before. It is desolate. It is empty. Whatever seems to be there before was potentially burnt up.
Also, I say this with as much love as I can. Each bike weighs 500 pounds and the Devil Grinder weighs 1,200, so if you can build a canoe that can hold over a ton, I'm greatly impressed.
Totally doable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, do you head to
Let
the
me
river,
let me
or
grab my calculator. Hold on.
do you head to the river, or do you proceed around? Do you proceed up the river?
I don't mind heading to the river if you guys want to see what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
If there's any demons or devils on this side, we can always run over them with the Devil Grinder.
Yeah.
Push 'em in, hoping
You get to
dam
the-
something up.
You get to the river without any drums. Do you try and gauge how far it is across, or
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
so? The bounds of this river are ever changing. I'm going to roll a d10. Whatever the result is of that d10, times it by 15. So it's always going to be a minimum of 15 feet across. Minimum if you roll a 1. If it's 30, if I roll a 2, it's 30 feet across, etc. etc. Okay.
Fair chance the bike could clear it then.
Medium.
Minus 15.
That's past the
Almo-
bikes.
Almost
yeah.
60. That's 55?
That is
No.
Or 60, so it's
That's
75.
75. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could make it across if I ditched the bike. To be
But
fair, we
the,
didn't pay for this bike. We stole it off a corpse.
Can
It's
we
all
create
full of
ramps?
sand.
Can we pack sand, pack it very good, and then create like a ramp? You know.
I don't
and
think
then
it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna alter the jump distance.
Yes, it will.
Hey, you know what? Real quick, I'm just gonna lob 5 or 6 of these at the surface. See what it does.
Nothing happens.
Worth the shot.
I just use
I'm less
catapult.
concerned. I'm less concerned about getting. Does catapult have a weight limit?
Yeah, yes, it
Yeah,
does.
could
I
you
was just
catapult the
joking.
grinder? Okay.
I was just joking.
Can we throw the grind?
1 to 5 pounds. So yeah, that wouldn't
I was
work.
joking.
I'm less concerned about getting the bikes across. I'm more concerned about getting the Devil Grinder. That's like
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
Do we see any ferrymen from where we are?
Roll a perception check.
Can I help?
And if Thistle also look, I'm just gonna tell Thistle look for boats and like I'm gonna show Thistle like I'm gonna do this with my hand and hope he understands, to give me advantage. I'll also cast guidance on myself.
Sure.
You play charades to teach him what a boat is.
3 for guidance, and then advantage on perception. Perception.
Yeah.
23.
23.
Even without the advantage, 20 was the first roll.
Take it.
Okay. You look up and down the river. You don't see any ferrymen. But there does seem to be a tower further up, and it's distant. But there is definitely something gleaming across the river.
We're
Like on the
around
other
here
side
now,
or in
right?
the middle?
You would be around there roughly.
So are you talking about this tower?
Maybe.
Something gleaming across the... Does it look like there's combat going on anywhere between here and there?
No.
We should be able to make it there fairly quickly.
Yeah, no, I'll point out.
Easily.
There's something going across the river there, and it doesn't look like there's any war in the middle. Do you want to
How
just take a
long?
trip?
Worth the
How
look.
long did a Thistle can fly and investigate?
Oh, Thistle doesn't have to be within any certain range of me. Thistle can fly as far as he wants.
Can he fly and see what the glimmering or what is?
I mean, it'll take probably longer than it would take for us to get there because we're in vehicles, and he has just a regular base movement speed.
Oh, it's not across the bridge? I mean, it's not across the water? It's on
Oh
this
no,
way?
he was talking about like a tower up this way.
Oh,
On
that
our-
way.
Yeah,
on
up the
our
river.
side of the river.
Ah, okay.
Like, and that tower has something that's like gleaming across the river, whether that be a bridge or like a dock or something or other,
Yep.
is to be determined. But that's
There's
probably our best
something
chance.
shiny that might be generally shaped like this, and we're hoping we can run on it.
It's probably just our best chance to cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not gonna risk it on this way. So yeah, we just said we just go that way.
Okay.
Continue our
I'm
way
okay
up.
with that.
So, you do proceed onwards toward this.
Should call this
toward
episode
this tower.
Crossing the river.
As you approach,
That's what it seems like we're trying to do. That's our
as you
our
approach,
crutch right now is this damn river.
no, that's all interior descriptions. Okay. Oof.
Let's talk about the music a little bit.
All right. So, you proceed down the river, and as it comes into close, you see a tower of obsidian rock like material coming up into a roundish tower. At its peak, you do see some jagged looking crenellations as they reach up toward the sky. And you do see what looks to be a singular line of some sort of material that seems to hang across the river before reaching to another post on the other side of the river.
So this looks like a zip line.
Something similar.
Do I see any way that we could get the vehicles?
You do not.
Any sort of contraption in the mess, or is it just a rope?
It's hard to say. If there is
And-
some sort of contraption attached to it, it is hidden.
And the river is about how wide at this part?
I should have left my calculator up.
It's 1d10 times 15.
I know.
I can do that math quick. That's 60.
Yes.
The bike can do it.
The bike can jump it. So we can get the bikes across. At the very least. Is the bike only one rider?
Bike
yeah,
only
it is.
one.
How did they get that huge battalion there then with just 2 bikes? Did they march?
They must have.
Because bearded devils can't fly. And neither can chain devils.
I think the better question is, obviously the chain devil isn't gonna walk, he's not a peasant, but who else got to ride?
Yeah, right? Like, that's some militaristic bullshit. Anyways, can I see if it's like humanoids or devils operating the tower?
Roll a perception check.
I'll give myself guidance again. Having that cantrip. I now relate to Akra. Having that cantrip is so nice.
Right?
18.
They almost look humanoid until you're able to tell the distinct tails or protruding horns, various other telling tales that this thing is definitely guarded by fiends of the sort.
Is this an Ogma flavored distortion or a typical fiendish?
I'm gonna gather that you're still a small distance away, so it's hard to say at that distance.
I'm gonna say, Nusalug, stay in the car. Ogma, come with me. Because you speak Infernal.
Yeah, I'm in.
I look at you like, why do you want me to come along?
Because I feel like, right now, killing things isn't our best interest. I know that you don't like that, so I'd prefer you just begrudgingly sit in the car than come with us and then just start smacking stuff.
Oh. So you don't like the way I do things, huh?
Hey Agnes, you're also holding most of the soul coins. Just in case we need those, would you like to come along?
Yes. Agnes, I'm like, of course, brother.
Just in
I-
case we need some monetary compensation for that.
When you say just in case we need, and then I kind of look at it, persuasion. Oh, that kind of okay.
Hand
I
off the
just
sword, hand on the coin pouch.
Give you kind of a dirty look when you told me to stay in the car, like, and now
Listen.
I'm coming along with you.
So,
You can ditch him. Agnes, hop on my back, hop on the motorcycle.
Agnes gladly just jump. Wait, yeah, I'm not good at this theory. No, yes, I am.
No. The 2 motorcycles will dart towards the tower.
Bye bye, New Saloon.
I'll yell back, sorry.
So is
I was
that where
just
we're
being
going?
sarcastic.
I just don't know what's real, what's not, to be honest.
so who's coming out? I've got Agnes. I've got Alden. Is there anyone else?
Going to the
I asked
tower?
Agnes to come along because he
Yeah.
speaks Infernal.
I'll go for interpreting.
And Agni was piloting the big car, so I wasn't going to tear him away from that.
You
So-
okay with babysitting Nuzalug?
And an unconscious Xenophon and Lulu.
So just the 3.
And a shield.
I mean, we could. Why aren't we all going?
I'd say,
I
well,
don't-
we all go.
I feel like
Yeah.
killing things isn't in our best interest right now, and I feel like by character stuff, a couple of us might just want to go kill everything there when our best interest right now is just getting across the river.
I mean, if it is a
Listen,
potential
kill
for getting us
everything,
across the
knock
river, then I'm
tower over
going.
and drive over the tower. Definitely plan B, but let's try plan A first, okay?
We're trying planet. If you start driving over there, I can't stop you. I don't think that a devil's ride can stop a demon grinder. So like, if you start driving, I can't stop you. But
I mean, if there's a chance for us getting across the
we will make
thing,
a signal. If
I'm
we have
going.
trouble, then you get full rights to murder. Okay.
if there's a chance to getting across this and getting to my mentor, I'm taking it. So I'm driving. I'm following.
I feel like all of us are coming along, so I don't think you can.
We're going.
Look like all of us. Okay.
We're going.
It's everyone.
Because Nuzalug's in the car, so if Agony goes, Nuzalug goes. By extension,
Unless he just decides to jump out.
I don't think.
I'm coming along because after you told me to stay back, no, I want to join it this time because no.
Oh, not you disrespecting the Celestials.
Okay. So, let me just pull everyone onto this sheet.
Okay.
I need Agni. I need Blue.
Hey everybody.
I wanted to try to go the diplomatic route for this, and the last time we tried to go the diplomatic route, Nuzalug tried to smack someone.
Probably will do it again too. What do you mean? I want you guys.
Please don't.
I want you guys.
We're not making like
so you be quiet.
we're not making like formal deals with them. We just want to cross the river.
Yeah.
I let you guys do what you wanted, honestly, for a long time at this point. I know what you guys complaining about.
No, you haven't. You just smack things regardless.
How many people you've interacted with I've not jumped in?
You haven't jumped in.
You
'cause
have
weren't there.
ruined many of my goo rolls.
So, you
You just purposely stepped towards him.
Passively.
you approach this watchtower. It is 30 feet tall, an open-top structure made of black basalt. As you approach, you see various demons patrolling around its outsides. And
Demons or devils?
devils.
It's important. Thanks.
Devils.
Because I'm fine with murdering demons. The devils are the ones that we can somewhat reason with.
Upon your approach, two devils of a bearded variety sort of see your approach, and there is no overt alarm that is sounded upon your approach, but there is definitely, you watch as there is a bit of bustle of activity behind closed doors. You can hear, and you watch as a handful of hellhounds
Did he freeze?
He did.
I think he did.
start to come around from the front. Sorry, you do see a handful of hellhounds come around the front from where.
Alden will hold his hand up towards the devil, hold his arm out across Nuzalug and say, "You don't want trouble. Just want to talk."
You're in a
I hear
motorcycle.
it.
I'm in the car. You be quiet.
I wasn't sure if we had gotten out of the vehicles, or the vehicle tokens aren't on here because the map is really small. But Alden will just hold up his hand and go, "We don't want to fight. Just want to talk."
All right. You say that in common?
I'll say that in common, and I'll have Agma on standby in case he looks at me curiously.
So you hear a voice, deep and gruff, echo into everyone's mind, and it asks, "What do you want?"
So he understood. Okay.
Did he?
We wish to cross the river, and I'll just gesture to the river and to the zip line. And if possible, to bring our vehicles across.
He sort of looks at his companion, mentions, mutters a few words to him silently, and the other devil departs inside. It sort of looks at each of you.
Still smoldering Agna is gonna say in Infernal, Scorcher today, eh?
By the way, in the vehicle, I do load my weapon up just in case.
There is a little bit of time in this tense silence that just proceeds. You gather that this devil is not much on small talk. Before a completely foreign voice also echoes in everyone's heads. You may enter.
Oh damn.
And the bearded devil at the door gestures you inside.
I yell at everyone, no!
This is why we left you in the car.
Eldon will need to chain his bike to the devil, to the demon grinder.
Okay.
And
Go
proceed
inside the clearly, obviously evil devil's house.
Where in
We
the hell is
are in
everything evil?
hell. Yes.
So, as you approach this tower on the first floor, I'm literally
Everyone else is. I'm like, Agnew, no! No.
Oh, so now you agree to stay in the car. Okay.
Like, no, I was just thinking, I was like, you're all idiots! That's what I'm thinking.
You can stay in the car. That's fine. That's your choice.
How is that news to you?
Are we idiots?
Yeah, right? Like, this is the most chaotic party we've ever been in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no, Xanthipus exists.
But say, I never said growing you guys has been the craziest party.
We just
No,
keep getting
Chaos
crazy.
is pretty on brand for us.
So, I'm gonna move you through the first floor as you get gestured inside. News or Luke, are you actually staying in the vehicle or not?
I am saying in the vehicle.
Okay. Well, this is just more for your reference so you can see what's going on than anything else, as everyone
problem.
else gets moved through. You come into the first floor, and you see a large feasting table with quite a few bearded devils, along with quite a few hellhounds at each of their spaces. Some of them keeping a watch outside the various windows on this ground floor, and others just seeming to take some time off.
Have they like look at us weird when we
You
enter?
do get a couple of glances as you walk through this.
I do have a quick question. Is Mark with them or with me?
He would
I'm
probably be
just
with
doing it
you.
as a group. Mark's not physically here, so I'm just doing this as a group.
No
Oh,
problem.
that sounds like Mark's about to jump in on Discord. Anyway,
Okay, I didn't pay attention. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure.
that's right. Yeah, you
Eldon
do.
is just mentally taking account of how many of each type of fiend are here
Yeah.
on each floor.
Yeah. So.
And speaking of the
this-
devil, Mark
this
said that he
level-
cannot make it today.
Yeah, I just saw that. This level of the tower is drab and unadorned, save for a plain rectangular stone table set with a pair of stone benches, spare polearms, and scale armor suitable for 5 large and 10 medium devils are stored in racks along the walls as well.
You said it was a feasting table. Is there food?
There does seem to be some food,
What does a devil eat?
meats, roasted.
They are not eating ichor.
I could offer them some special sauce, see what that does.
They don't even pay attention to, like, they're looking at you like out of the corner of their eyes going, great, sort of a thing. But outside of that, they're not really paying much attention to you.
See, they're not here and overtly hostile. They just want to chill.
There is a ladder at the back of this room, of which you are gestured towards. And as you ascend onto the next level, you come into a similar-sized chamber. You see in front of you a familiar form of a chain devil. And how do I describe this guy? This creature looks slug-like with very decrepit-looking wings stuck on its back. He holds rather ostentatious robes over his demeanor, and holds what looks to be, or in front of him, a staff, walking stick, made of what looks to be a bone-like material adorned with a grasping claw with an orb stuck between it. Its menacing-looking grin. His mouth opens and in perfectly fluent common speaks to the group. I understand you wish to barter passage. Tell me what it is you offer.
Gold points.
Soul coins. Huh. If you wish to use our ways across, that would be, say, 5 soul coins.
Would this include our 3 vehicles?
What we're able to provide does not offer vehicle transportation. You must understand, we only have this method for those of us that lack the ability of flight.
And do you offer park garage for our vehicles?
A soul coin a day. Aside
Do
from
you
that,
have rental vehicles on the other side?
what does this look like? Do we look like a car yard?
No, you seem like a
Hey.
businessman. And we're willing to offer you business.
Indeed.
So, we reiterate. Do you have any cars for rent on the other side?
No.
So where are we going on the other side again? Like how far from where we are?
The
Pretty far,
spawning
huh?
trees. It's a
Yeah,
fair
we're
bit.
trying to get to the spawning trees.
Yes, it's kind of
Just still a ways.
Quick question, since there's 5 of us here, and you're asking 5 soul coins, if 2 of us were to leave and find our own way across, would that be 3 full soul coins per set?
5 soul coins for the use.
Do you know anywhere around the river where we can cross the vehicles? I know you guys can. Obviously.
You might
not
find
very-
another watchtower also may be willing to provide passage across. Mostly, maybe under similar conditions, although I can't speak for their commanders.
We don't have time to waste
Alternatively,
soul coins.
you could find a ferryman.
Ooh, tell me what about this ferryman?
They wander.
When was the last time you see him wander?
There is no one ferryman. They drift by from time to time.
And how much do they charge, do you know?
I do not know. That is
We
them.
can always come back, we can jump the 2 bikes. And we don't have to be over there for an extended period of time. We can't really
Soul
afford
coin
to
a day
go.
is real steep, though.
I know it's real steep, but
Yep.
we can't afford to go from watchtower to watchtower looking for the best
No.
No,
price.
but there is like they say one is a ferryman somewhere. We can just
Yeah,
stay.
that might be
for-
better bet.
They
Well,
just stay
what is
for
it?
like at least one day to see if we see one.
What is it? Shumroth's Pit? Shumroth is a ferryman?
He said he has
Um,
various.
There is a ferryman at Shamrock's Pit, or whatever it is. The one up in the top left-hand corner.
So it may be a little bit of a hike to get all the way up to Shumroth's Pit and then all the way back down to the spawning trees, but we have a place where you can get the vehicles across if you want to try there.
yeah.
It didn't pop into my head until just now. Amnesia. Okay. I'll make a
Well,
note
I'm
of
sure
it.
if anyone else we happen to apply for passage is as polite as this guy, we'll be fine.
I can't speak for my other commanders' mentalities. Keep in mind that we are more of a military outpost than anything else.
Uh, Now, this may not be the best in your favor, but would you be willing to help us find the nearest ferryman outside of Shumroth's Pit? In return, do you know if there are any demons gathering? We may be able to aid you. And in
Dirty
return, you
deed
help us get our
done
vehicles
dirt
across.
cheap. We will kill demons.
Our payment is combat instead of soul coins.
Have any problems? Need a couple idiots thrown at?
It's a win-win situation. I know that you guys are in a never-ending war, but we can help you win at least this one battle.
He gives you a shrewd look. Sort of looks over each of your gear. Roll a persuasion check.
Yeah, I'll give myself a little whisper for guidance. I'll whisper to myself in Dwarven, because like I'll cast a spell in Dwarven because I imagine he doesn't know it. Persuasion, you said?
Persuasion.
11.
I will allow you to cross. Your vehicles will be unmarked for the duration. Not. That's a word. I legitimately forgot the word. They won't be acquired for the war effort. In return, 5 soul coins to cross, and your assistance in combat, if such assistance is required.
And do you have a way to contact us? If it helps, we're not planning to go far once we're over the river.
You will know when you are required.
Ominous, and I'll begin to draw an arcane sigil with like magic on my hand, willing to shake on it. As I look to the party really quick for approval.
Let's have
This is my form of like making
one
a contract without
vehicle.
making a formal contract of like this is like my way of like something that's like at least arcanely binding.
You watch as you sort of look as the Amnesia looks at your palm before he reaches out what looks to be a bony sort of a looking hand, and he clicks. And you watch as a small imp in the rafters dives down with a piece of parchment.
Oh, it's gonna be one
quickly
of
scribbles
those.
out a few things.
Gonna be one of those.
I'll look at the imp and say, don't add any unnecessary bullshit, just what we verbalized.
Contracts, guys.
So,
Be careful.
as we'll have a quick 5-10 minute break as I quickly draw up this contract.
This contract is with me, not the. I'm the only one bound by this. I don't want the whole party getting dragged into this shit.
Oh no, this is for the group.
You are promising our
This
assistance.
is for the group.
Out of curiosity, does this include me since I'm not even there?
This does include you.
But you're
You
not
are
there to
part
make
of
a
the
comment.
You
I mean,
are
we're-
part of the group.
Killing
This is
bad things.
You are bartering passage for the group, so this will include the entire group.
Alden will just kind of sigh and he's like, it's easier.
I would object to that just on a weird, like,
But you're not there.
You're not there.
Say, I'm not even...
No, we know that Nuzalug would object. But right
Okay,
now,
think of it
this
this
is
way.
the easiest thing to do as opposed to just killing everyone in the tower and then trying to figure out what to do after the fact.
When they come to collect, they'll only be asking us to kill demons. Nothing
Which
I
is
don't
something
know,
that
that's-
you're
like-
great.
I'm just thinking, like, more logically, it's like, okay, they would come to Axe, I can say no. It's like, well, he signed this. I'm like, I knew he was even there. That doesn't work.
I'm
Power
the
of
one
the day,
signing
baby.
the contract. I'm
Power
the one
of the
signing
day.
the contract, but it's attached to all of us because we're all part of the group. Unless you don't consider me an ally. Does Nuzalug consider Alden an ally?
It's more along the lines
That is a
of
Because if
Very,
not,
very
you would not be.
Nuzalug.
Because if
Do
not,
you
I don't
guys
think you would be
con-
included.
Nuzalug, do you consider yourself part of the group? Does everyone else consider Nuzalug part of the group?
I consider Nuzalug part of our
He
group.
does.
However, if it's not reciprocated, I don't think it works. Do you consider us allies?
Yeah, think about that. I gotta think about that.
We can resolve this after the 10-15 minute break if you
Oh.
give him time to think on it.
I
Yeah,
need-
you can think
Oh
about it.
man.
Because it's a tough question for Nuzalug. We've been through a lot, but also we've made a lot of decisions he doesn't agree with.
And we are intent on making more, and you know
God.
Hell corrupts people. Some of these
Yeah, it
offers
does.
are incredibly tempting.
Because each time this stuff happens, I always deliberately have my character be out of this stuff.
Yeah, you didn't even go into the Wandering Emporium with us because you didn't want to sign a contract saying that you would pay for goods and services. Not Nuzalug being a Karen.
Okay, I'll be back. 10-15 minutes, right?
No problem,
Yeah.
no problem.
Think about it, New Salute.
At this point, I like to say no.
certainly not friends on you.
All right, guys. Yeah, we're taking about a 10-15 minute break. I'm gonna
Part of the party.
lower that.
There is a
Bring
difference.
You don't have to like the
that
people you
back
work with.
in.
I've been with the party. It's like I'm just noticing actions. I just have to be like,
But yeah, guys, we'll be back here shortly. Yeah, hang out. We'll figure out what's going on, and yeah, interesting stuff. But yeah, we'll be back. Okay, guys. We are coming back. We're just finishing up some stuff. Everyone's just kind of coming back. We're getting ready to get that contract figured out. If you remember, we left off kind of on a heavy question to see if one of our party members considers us an ally. So yeah, interesting. I couldn't remember which camera to look at. But yeah, we got everything updated. For those that leveled up, I guess one didn't. And I don't know if Zeno got all of the XP because of emergency last week. But we'll see. But yes. Yeah, we're just getting ready to come back into it. So, we're gonna bring back in our Discord, and get you guys good to go. Bring that all down. I'm gonna bring. That fairly low.
Reading between
You
the
do
lines,
know
there's
it
no
never said-
subtext.
Okay, I'm not there. I'm just pointing this out. You know, it doesn't actually state to fight demons. It just says in combat.
The combat
Polo,
intersects
we're
is
just
between
talking
demons
about
and
normal
Say that
It
hydration.
does say
Water.
just one
I am
thing
drinking
he demands of
an
us.
adult beverage as well.
That's upon collection. The actual contract itself.
So most of the time it is
Please go
just
back up.
for water, because you got to keep me hydrated, you know. You got to keep me hydrated,
The actual contract itself states duties of the administrator.
which I should
Travel
just do
across
anyways.
the river Styx for a sum of 5 soul coins. The Chinese
Got me
transportation.
water with some liquid IV,
while unattended will not be
tangerine
appropriated
flavored.
if become trust.
Wonderful.
A servant
I'm
of
also
assistance
currently
in
drinking
combat to be called upon at the benefactor's discretion. It doesn't specify demons, but
just an adult
like
beverage.
99, unless we're interfering, 99% of the
Or staying
combat
hydrated.
on the river Styx is between demons and demons.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not there. I'm sorry. It's like okay.
No, I know. No, you're bringing up valid concerns as a player. I'm just saying, like, from the information we have, 99% chance we're probably just fighting demons. And I would tell you, hey, don't kill those devils. We have a contract with them. Actually,
And hey,
once we kill the
word
demons,
to word.
the contract. Actually, once we kill the demons, contract is fulfilled. And if Nuzaluk personally wants to kill the devils, that's your choice.
I mean, why wouldn't
I'm
we?
not gonna say
Contract is
anymore. I'm
fulfilled.
not there because I could point so many holes in this contract.
Oh well, no, I'm saying, well, it's a very simplistic, like rudimentary contract. I'm just saying above.
That's why you
game,
never sign a rudimentary contract.
I'm just saying above game, the contract is fulfilled once we defeat the devils. So if once
Does
the
that say anything about
devils,
defeating
if once the
There is a small minor thing. It's more just formatting and whatnot. Like what you provide is a service of assistance under the consideration, as well as and the duties of the administrator is points
I
1.
know you sound quick
3
too,
should
so
be under
I didn't expect this
consideration.
to be like 10 pages
yes,
long.
I'm aware that the contract does not specify demons.
I'll do
The
both.
thing is, coming from someone who's had to read 3 of these this campaign alone, just for my character, this is literally just the way infernal contracts are worded.
There
They're
you go.
worded vaguely to do that, and that's the way regular
So
contracts are worded.
normally it's water, but I've got my
Because if you try to
adults.
have them do a specific thing,
with
and some
me.
things, like, because there's demons that are demons/aberration, those could fall into gray area because they're not just demon. This is their way of avoiding that. It's one of those kind of deals. But like once combat is over, once we've helped them with combat, the contract is fulfilled. Or at least on our end.
Worth consideration. Did we secure travel both ways, or are they just gonna ship us across and leave our vehicles on the other side and
We'll find
call
out.
it good?
Worst comes to worst, if I have to fly across, jump a bike over for you guys, and then fly back across, I can do all of that with a Radiant Soul.
Why
True.
do we do that without the contract?
I can help too.
Because the thing is, only one person can fit on the bike. If we jump the bikes across, we still have to move
We
at
don't need
regular
the
walking
vehicles.
pace.
Come on.
We kind of do. That's the thing.
We at
We
least
don't
need
on
the
surface level
the
of
big
what
one.
we're focusing on, but there's still a bunch of background shit that's
The
happening. We
vehicles
don't know
are
what's
coming
happening.
with us regardless.
We
once
don't know what's
travel.
happening. No, well, no, the vehicles aren't coming across the river. That's the thing.
Like, so why does it matter? It's like,
Because we'll
'Cause we
need
don't
them when
want
we
other
get back
demons and
to
devils
travel
stealing the
all
vehicle.
the Avernus.
They said that the vehicles will be kept in trust, meaning that they are defending the vehicles. Like, they are not allowing other people to steal the vehicles while we are on the other side. So that when we come back and we have to do something again on this side, the vehicles are there waiting for us.
It
And for
also
the demon grinder, we're still holding onto the key for it.
it also says like there also won't be appropriated. You gather that might be appropriated for the war effort.
Yeah, they're not using our vehicles in war. They're just there.
And we're taking the key.
I know that you, now as a player with holes in the contract and as a character, have issues with said contract. I was literally doing this just to cover our own asses.
Look, we want holes in the contract for squeezing our way out of. It's fine.
Yeah.
Holes in the contract benefits us just as much as it does them.
Yep.
And on the offside chance we default on the agreement, then they only want one of our souls, and that person has already sold their soul to a much bigger, angrier, devilish, fiendish person. So
Yeah, if they try to take my soul, they've got Zariel to deal with, so that's their problem.
actually, what
It's
still like-
demons are, you know that?
Good luck with that.
It's either this or look for a ferryman.
Which we don't have time to like travel up the entire river, look for a ferryman just to get to the spawning trees.
Yeah, my character's not there. I can't say anything or do anything. So.
And Agni's
Well, no,
all
as
about
a
getting to the
Nuzalug,
spawning
you can't
trees.
say anything, but you are as Nuzalug, you can't say anything, but you are bringing up valid concerns as a player.
whether Nuzalug considers himself a part of the party, we consider Felix a part of the party, and like
Yeah.
your input.
Yeah, what we're discussing is reservations
Well-
that you have brought up as a player, not as a character.
To
And
be
that's what we're
honest,
talking
it's
about.
kind of
I'm
one of the
also
same
gonna-
in this case. It's kind of one.
I'm also going to cut in here very quickly. All I've stated was, in the very first line, the contract is made and entered into by and between the mercenary party, hereafter the signee, and the benefactor. There is no mention anywhere as to the members of said mercenary party. It doesn't.
If you're a contracted freelancer, we still count as your allies for an aura, eh?
It doesn't extrapolate on it. It's all it states. Then
And it
yes,
doesn't,
there
the
is
contract
the
also
whole
does not
thing
specify
of
multiple
spirit.
souls.
Yes, there is the whole thing of the spirit of the word and all that sort of stuff. That's a discussion for another time.
And for the soul reservation,
And
once
it
again,
does
it
speak
only specifies
Over.
a single soul, not multiple. So not all 6 of our souls are not being sent to the infernal courts. It would only be the signee, which would be Alvin, because I am personally the one signing the contract. Nothing's
so when
happening
he's
to
being held
Nuzalug if the
in
contract
contempt
breaks.
of devil courts, we'll be fine.
Yeah, nothing's happening to Nuzalug if the contract breaks.
Now you don't have to sign it. Just saying.
Yeah, if the contract breaks, when I
It's
make
all on
contracts for the
Alden.
group- Yeah, when I make contracts for the group, I put all the blame onto myself. That way, if anything happens, nothing happens to you guys.
We're just there. We're reaping all the benefits.
That's why I've tried. Like I run the risk, and you guys run the reward. That's why I play the game the way I do. I do care if Alden dies, but if he dies, I'm not going to be mad about it because Andrew has said that this is a deadly campaign.
None
And
of
you had
us
a
have
backup
signed
for
anything.
More than half of it now.
The only
And you
thing
guys
any of
running-
us
you
have
guys reaping
agreed
the
to
rewards.
is being a part of the group.
Also, you guys reaping the reward from my risk is no risk to you guys. You stand
No.
to only benefit from it.
So, just so we can move on,
Mhm.
because we've discussed this for like 15, 20 minutes already.
Yep.
Is the contract signed?
Alden specifically will sign the contract.
Okay. The contract gets signed. You have a copy, and and obviously the benefactor's copy is squirreled away into
Package
his
it back. I'm
robes.
sorry.
Huh?
Yeah.
Package it back.
She's unmuted and everything.
Oh,
Oh.
sorry.
She's just here. I think she came in the middle of the conversation and didn't want to contribute to something she wasn't here for the start of.
I'm here. It's just I'm listening, but
Yep.
yeah. I mean, I
We're
don't
trying to
have
put
any-
Felix's worries to
Luke
rest
is
and
no
tell him that
longer
nothing's
a
gonna happen.
friendly ally. If that makes sense to you.
He does not.
repeat that.
He does not consider us allies, so we are not covered by his aura of protection.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of knew that, Felix.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
come
oh,
on.
it's like,
On the upside
Could
for
we
Ogma, that
finally
means that his
settle
aura of
that?
protection doesn't. On the upside for Ogma, that means his aura of protection doesn't affect your con saves against goo.
Oh, don't you believe I know?
God.
watch, you'll still pass without my bonus.
So,
Yeah, frankly, I have been.
you are. He sort of looks at the. You do look at the rest. He looks at the rest of the group. At the group and says, "When you're all ready, proceed to the top floor of this tower, and passage will be provided across the river."
Agnes, how many Zol coins are you holding?
Let me check real quick.
Let's see if I have any.
Because I'm holding 2 that I can contribute. I know that you're holding a bunch because you're the only evil character in the party, but I have 2.
Nope.
I have 16.
Oh, so we got plenty.
So I'll contribute my 2, so that you only have to use 3.
Yeah. I'll remove the 3 for my character
So
sheet.
there's the 5 for all of us to pass over.
Yes.
Alden will send Thistle to go get Nuzalug to get into the zip line.
Nuzalug, I gather you feel very nervous walking into this den of evil.
Yes, he is. I think he's more angry than nervous.
Okay.
He has his blade kind of drawn out at all times. He's kind of like,
As you walk through this building, there is no overt sounds of combat or any real signs of aggression toward you. But roll me an insight check. There is a sort of a mix of expression that you're able to pick up from the various creatures in this building. A mix between fear, lust, desire, greed. And they're not just looking at you. They are looking almost through you and what you represent. But they leave you unmolested. And you do make your way up to the rest of the group.
I reach the top, and I, with my angry
The
eyes,
contract is in my backpack, so as far as he knows, just soul coins.
Anyway, and I put my sword, like, ding, and Shatter's like, I'm guessing you didn't heed my advice? As per usual?
You want to cross the river or not?
Not in this matter, but it seems that
There's
there's
the
no
puppy
choice
cam.
in us.
It's
In this
not how I
matter,
wanted
is
it.
there?
Well, if
normally,
you
but
want to wade through,
got it.
by all means.
I actually have
Payment
another,
has
like a
been
camera.
made. Thank you very much. As he
So
squirrels,
we
as he
can kind of,
passes
like,
the soul coins off
go
to
to
his
that
chain devil
and show
counterpart in the same room.
sleeping puppies or something.
Also, just for story reasons, you guys do feel like all the auras you guys felt from me, you guys don't feel them.
Alden just kind of rolls his eyes at you a little bit.
Meanwhile, the Amnesu does gesture back toward the ladder, which does continue up toward the ceiling.
Okay, just to clarify, is Hella, Fawn, and is someone else with us in the car coming with us too?
I'm gonna gather that he's just with you at the moment.
Yeah, Xenophon's traveling with us. He's just zoned out.
Okay, I was talking about also, is the Helifawn elephant with us too, or am I mistaken?
Oh, Lulu?
Lulu is stashed away somewhere on Xenophon's walk right now. She's trying not to make a presence of herself.
He's got all these little mechanical compartments in his armor. She just kind of found one, made it her home.
Pretty much.
Sorry, I forgot to hit enter on the be right back.
I mean, he's described that like magic missile, like other things, like he literally has like things come out of his shoulders. I imagine he just has like a little compartment for her.
I was just
He
curious.
just like tinkered a little chest compartment for her bed.
So I was like, I don't think that elephant stayed behind in the car, so I was curious what that's gonna happen. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not gonna leave a celestial in the car with a bunch of devils.
So, did I give me a second? I think I did put it in there. Fantastic. You get to the top ceiling and you see a contraption sort of built into the side of it, almost like it's like a platform on a suspended wire as it extends across the river. On the top half, near where a hook sort of slides over this wire, you see a sort of a hand wrench system whereby one might have to physically move in order to just proceed across.
Interesting.
Oh yeah,
Hand bike.
It's like bike pedals, but for your hands, essentially.
pretty much.
Yeah, I'll pedal across.
You
Is this
pedal
one
across.
person at a time?
The platform does seat all of you all together.
Okay.
Yeah. In this specific instance, so we can move on. Yes.
That's normal.
When we're
one
halfway
person
there,
at a time.
Ogma's gonna rocket a little just to gauge everyone's reactions. You know.
Bump on the back of the head.
Alden has this will prepare a force strike in case he does it again.
So, do you do it again? No.
I've got 27 health to spare.
So
And we'll get into the PvP later.
you proceed
We've
across.
already had contract litigation this session. Let's get on with it.
Yes. You proceed across the river. You get to the other side. And as you depart from the platform on the other side of this river, you find you have successfully navigated this river. How many times I can say river in a sentence, I have no idea. You do find yourself nearby, roughly where you might need to go toward the spawning trees.
Alden will see the spawning trees in the distance, give Agni a big pat on the back, and say, "Ready?" I don't know much
Agni
about
just-
your pal, I know that he's here.
Agni just gives a big, like, heavy sigh.
Your gambit, take the lead, boy.
Okay.
Let's go.
It does take the better part of the day just to cross toward the trees. By the time you arrive, it is evening. You see, when you arrive, tree-like growths clustering along the shoreline of a lake of bubbling black goo. Each growth is formed from the same ichor as the lake. It has writhing, membranous sacs budding from its limbs. You see, nearby, 5 bearded fiends heaping coals around the trunk of one of the trees. As they hurl more coals onto the pyre, 4 of their number cruelly poke and tease the 5th member of their group.
Sorry, I was salivating at all those tasty adjectives. There's some hazing going on.
Oh yeah.
God.
I figured.
Does this place even look familiar to me?
No. It doesn't look familiar, but you know of this place.
Okay.
So, well,
This doesn't look like anything I saw in that vision, does it?
roll a nature check. Whatever you saw in your vision, you have a look around. There are specific features that do speak to a familiarity of your vision. The surrounds have definitely changed. But this seems to be the right area.
I'm gonna start looking for a statue.
Okay.
We don't want to get in on the bully. Or I guess we could stop it if you're feeling amenable.
So,
Agony's got a one-track mind right now.
do you pay any attention to these devils and their work?
Oh, what was it you said they were doing? Also, I heard some about.
They seem to be heaping coals around the trunk of one of the trees, and as they hurl more coals onto the pyre, 4 of their number cruelly poke and tease the 5th member of their group.
So they're just messing around with themselves.
A little bit.
I'm not gonna pay too much mind.
Okay.
I'm looking for this statue.
Okay. You proceed inland. And as you do so, roll me a survival check, please. As you start to weave into the depths of this forest. Okay. You start moving with a singular purpose. There is something to your cadence, some inner workings, I suppose you might say. Something propelling you in a very specific direction. You come across after a small bit of travel, you come across a clearing. It seems to have a small set of tents set up in this clearing. As you look around, or as you approach, you see figures lying on the ground. Some scattered here and there. Some by the tents, and others by what remains of a fire.
Um, a more demon or devil?
You approach into the camp.
I mean, I'm gonna kind of hang out at the edge just to kind of obviously get an idea. Maybe kind of circle on the outskirts of it.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to draw too much attention.
You see, as you start to walk around, you see a handful of humanoid forms. Some tiefling, some human. You also see a small group of devils. Everything is quiet. There is no movement. Everything is still.
I'm gonna try stealthing into the camp.
Roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
While he does this, is there anything that the rest of the group wants to try and do as they see this?
If I see him trying to sneak, I will try to follow.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't hold him back, but I assume our many heavily armored idiots clinking after him's gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You start to move into this camp. As you move through, you start to identify splotches on individual forms. There is some some of the fallen forms, as you're starting to identify them, seem to have some of them in alarm have seemingly attempted to stand up and move before they seemingly collapsed where they were. Other ones just seemingly collapsed. Roll me an investigation check.
I'll give you guidance.
And what?
It's just
What's
a
that plus? D4.
There is something unnatural about this. You're not, like, even to you, someone who has been around quite a few places, you're able to identify quite a lot of things. There is something, as you look around, you're trying to pick up on something, but what it is just barely outside of your mind. Alden, can you roll me an investigation check? Since you said you were following straight afterwards.
Sure. Also, because I just, like, 9 times out of 10 have it up. Do I pick anything up with detect magic?
With detect magic may help as well, but your investigation with your detect magic up. This isn't so much something magical, although you can sense a faint echoes of magic. There are no. You've looked around. You've seen plenty of dead bodies, and something like this fairly speaks of an ambush of some variety. There are no arrows. Most of these wounds seem to be done by some sort of missile type weapon. There is no missiles to be spoken of.
Alton will really quick stop Agni and say someone was casting magic missiles. These are force-based impacts.
Even as you say that, it rings untrue. You know the spell magic missiles.
These are force-based impacts, not arrows.
These are
He didn't
not.
say force, he said missile, just like a ranged weapon. But a
You
magic
look-
missile doesn't leave a wound, just like a bruise, yeah?
You look at you've seen the impact of force impacts. You've seen the impact of various different magical type effects. None of these wounds depict anything of that manner. You would say that most appropriately these would be applied to on some sort of arrow or bolt type weapon.
Oh,
there are
buff
no
game, I know
arrows
what
or
this
bolts to
is.
be seen.
Wait, you know what it is?
I mean, not like, you know, a name or anything like that, but above game, I would like.
Well, no, I'll describe everything I know from detect magic and like just like arcane knowledge to you from like what I see around
Well,
me.
There is
just from my
definitely a
notes.
trace of magic in these wounds, but there is no missile. And the magic is completely foreign to you.
Is this?
That's interesting. The completely foreign magic part.
Does any of that seem familiar to my vision?
Roll a religion check.
Not good at these.
I don't think even guidance would have really helped there.
It's hard to say. Like, you've seen in your vision that you recall, there was the hunter
Hmm.
that traveled through the trees, that shot multiple enemies. You recall arrows coming out of nowhere.
Hmm.
That's what you recall.
Okay, I'm gonna keep moving through and seeing, looking for altar, the statue, signs of any of that stuff.
Okay. You proceed through the camp. It's sizable, but still small.
Hmm.
As you look around, you gather that there's probably 20 men here, devils included. You know from experience that your mentor, and you have from time to time, employed various mercenaries through contracts or otherwise, from devils or otherwise, as terms dictate. So none of this is really foreign to you, seeing a camp mixed like this.
Hmm.
You see You're about to leave the camp on the other side. And you see two things. The first, buried slightly in the shroud of trees, a statue. Tall, but shaded where it currently lays in the minor distance away that it is. And the other is a tent off to the side, where you recognize a talisman that your mentor used to place at his method of rest.
I'm gonna slowly head over that way.
Which one?
Okay. Oh, they weren't together.
No. This tent is within the camp.
Okay.
The statue is away.
I think I'm gonna head to the statue first.
Okay.
Detect any magic off of the talisman as we walk by? I don't know.
It seems to have a faint protection magic. The school of escapes me right now, but that
Abjuration, I think.
abjuration magic. Thank you. It seems to have a faint sense of abjuration magic around it. So, you head toward the statue.
Yeah.
You proceed through the trees, and you come to a sort of a pristine clearing, one that is exceptionally familiar to you. As you look around, none of the pools of black ichor are present in this small clearing. The trees around you, however, are still withered, similar to what you have seen before. You see the statue in front of you, a scattering pile of bones, sort of in reverence at the base of this statue. And its arms held out. There is no bow.
Oh, I'm gonna kneel at the statue. I saw that
Mhm.
figured in my shadow in my vision too. Just for a brief minute.
You go to kneel down. You take up the same pose. Nothing happens.
I'm gonna unsheathe the longbow of warning. I'm gonna place it at the statue in the hands. And kneel again.
It makes a solid connection. It's being held up by the statue. But you go to place it there, and just when you're about to move your hands away, there is a sense of wrongness to this. Enough so that you pick your bow back up and take it out of the hands.
Okay. Did I get any kind of feeling kneeling?
No.
Okay. gonna turn to whoever's with and just kind of under my breath just say, I feel he's here. Possibly
Cast
watching.
Identify on the statue. I'm gonna cast Identify on the statue.
Okay. You cast Identify on the statue. You start to feel information entering your brain, but it is not of anything that you rightly understand. Going to primal urges and feelings. There is a sense of ancient power, some sliver of something beyond your comprehension. Before it seems to stop and recede, almost as if what you are trying to do is pulled back out of you.
Fucking wild.
So, hey, no argument. Agni, you're one of the best archers I've ever known, possibly the best by a wide margin. Your friend you're looking for here, is he, and I point vaguely to the corpse pile, that good an archer?
You could say he taught me a lot.
Saw something over there and they can't catch your eye. You wanna go check it out?
I just quietly start heading that way to that tent.
Okay.
You're on.
You enter this tent back in the camp. You see the familiar protection amulet that he carries, specifically to ward away evil spirits, as he says. You enter into a small, tidy area, a small desk off to the side, a camp roll that seems to have been still rolled up. Not discarded, but still neatly in the side. You see a familiar looking journal on a small desk. Chest. Aside from that, a couple of wineskins, some rations.
I'm gonna take the journal.
What shape are the rations in? Are they recent?
Yes, actually, they are.
I'm taking the journal.
You open it?
Oh, I'm taking it.
Yeah. You take it.
Yep.
Add it to your journal. Add it to your inventory if you want.
I'm gonna do another quick look around this tent. Try to get just any kind of sense of
Two sex, Felix. Okay. See you later,
and
Felix.
yeah, just have a look around just the tent, just to get a sense of if it's like recent that he was left. And
this
then
tent doesn't seem like it's been abandoned.
I'm gonna turn and head out of the tent. Check some of the others and meet up with the rest of the group, kind of on the outskirts.
You go up to the others. Where you've left them. The ones that didn't accompany you. You don't see them.
Oh, interesting.
Can I? I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
There is a definite sense of something funky going on.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put a school of magic to it,
Okay.
but there is definitely something going on here.
So what is?
Roll me a. What's your passive perception, actually?
14.
There is definitely a sense of a ripple around you.
I give him guidance in case he decides to do it like an in-depth look.
Anything look different about the camp?
No.
I'm gonna head back over to the statue. I'm just gonna run.
Okay. Alden, I need to know. Did you stay near the statue or did you follow Agni back to the tent?
At this point, I've been sticking by Agni.
Okay. Avernus, I know that you also said that you sort of were looking around. Have you split away from Agni at all?
I'd have probably stayed in the camp. I don't know if I would have gone to the statue. That seems like a moment he doesn't want Goo Boy in.
Okay, cool. So
Oh boy.
I'm going
New nickname?
to retcon myself just a little bit.
Okay.
But when you went back to the tent, Avernus was also not there. You discovered that when you also went to look for your companions.
Okay.
Good to know.
For those characters who have disappeared, it's okay. There is a reason for this.
I said beer back. Did
I
I disappear as
trust-
well, or?
No, so you've stuck, Alden, you have stuck with Agni so far, quite closely.
And have I?
Agni, you run back to, after discovering only yourself and Alden are currently
Okay.
together. And
Dream team.
ripple seems to persist around you as you rush back and forward between the camp back to the statue.
Anything different at the statue?
Roll an investigation check.
You have guidance from me. Even 10?
I'm going to say, just so I can try and move us on.
Okay.
Alvin.
But I mean, I've known
I'm
Alden
still
is with
focusing
me.
on detect magic, so if that helps, we can just chalk it up to that.
Okay.
I know. I'm gonna say at this point, however, there is definitely a sense. There is definitely a sense of something definitely going on here.
Mhm.
The detect magic that has been cast alludes to a warping or a shift in a veil of reality.
Does this shift in like a veil feel similar to what it felt like when we went from the material plane to Avernus? Does it feel like a planar shift?
Yes and no.
That's the familiarity.
Agni, you've sensed portals before. Are you able to sense a portal now?
I'm gonna cast planar shift or detect portal.
You don't have plane shift.
Not yet.
It's a 7th level spell, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna do detect portal.
You cast detect portal. You feel this portal all around you.
We're in one.
As you sense this portal, do you have anything that would allow you to travel between on your skills?
I
I need
mean,
to know
I have
because that depends on what I'm about to say next.
ethereal
Do
step.
I... Hold up. Do we still have the tuning forks from when we first went to Hell? Because I remember we picked up the Avernus one, but me and Ogma also picked up another one while trying to look for it. Do I still have that tuning fork?
If you haven't gotten rid of it,
I don't think I ever put it down. So that would be a way to travel between realms if we have that.
We
only to what
definitely
it's attuned
discussed
to.
robbing the otter.
Only to what it's attuned to.
Okay. So we can go to the elemental plane of fire if you want.
You gather that
I
that
don't
might be
think
a
that's where he is.
stretch.
I was
Yeah,
about to say, I don't think
I
that's
would
where he
say
is.
I have ethereal step, but I don't know if that'll help.
Yeah, let me have a quick look.
It's a different plane of existence. It's worth a shot.
But I think only I can step into that.
I'll try to figure out what happened here and where the others went. You're good. Do you want me to send Thistle with you for safekeeping?
Hang on, where is your ethereal step? There it is. Step through the ethereal. Yeah, you literally learn to step through the ethereal plane.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to send Thistle with you for safekeeping? Or for, like, comfort?
I'm just gonna look at you, snap my finger, and poof.
Okay.
Okay. So,
I'm not there for long. Like it's a 6 seconds
No,
I'm
it's
there.
literally a turn.
as you step through with your ethereal step, the magic that surrounds you seems to gather around Alvin as well. As everyone, no, as you step through, you see your surroundings shift to grayscale around you.
Okay.
What was around you a very dead forest seems to burst into some sort of life in its grayness, where trees were once withered and deteriorating You currently see around you a forest of greenery and life. You see this statue in front of you. Once, what you saw before, its arms outstretched, ill-maintained, somewhat crumbling a little bit on the sides. This is pristine.
Similar to my vision. The first part of the vision.
Almost exactly the same in your vision. At
You
the
said I
base
was like.
of its steps.
You said I was like brought into this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
At the base of its steps, you see your companions, the ones that went missing just recently. All of them seemingly forced into some sort of kneeling position. And at the top of this dais in front, you see your old mentor, who looks down at you. An ancient, yet advanced-looking bow in his hands. And he looks down and he says, "You are always too skilled, troublesome, for your own good." And that's where we're going to leave for today's session.
Because probably right after that, I poof right back into them.
No. Whatever you've done in this specific instance has physically... You've shifted yourself into this plane. Into this ethereal plane.
Oh, so I'm being like held here now.
I'm sorry. It's not a 6-second shift. It's a full plane shift.
Into
No,
this...
well,
the ability
like-
itself
area.
is 6. This is
Yeah.
a special case.
Yes.
My ability just like gets me into the ethereal plane so I can just move around and do, bullshit for a turn. And then I'm shunted
Fine, but
back.
I also knew that some fuckery was going on. Is that I was dragged into it.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
So now you have a party of your maybe friends worshipping your maybe mentor, who's speaking vaguely threatening things.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
So we're going to pick this up next week.
Oh,
It's
God.
going to be an interesting fight.
Oh, boy.
I have to give you a brief sort of idea. This fight will probably be multiplanar.
Oh, God.
Which is already wild because we don't have plane shifting abilities outside of his ethereal step.
So, okay. So I got to ask. Do I keep my planar shift, the ethereal step skill, or...
For this coming fight, yes.
So I won't get rid of it.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
He thinks you'll need
Whatever-
a panic button. Good
Whatever
to know.
seems to be... Whatever seems to have pulled you into... Whatever ability that seems to have pulled you into this realm that you used, there seems to be like a perpetual power that is helping in this specific instance.
Okay.
Whereby you do actually have a continuous use of it, but it is
Okay.
also one way. So as you shift, you will stay in the prime or ethereal realm.
This is gonna be one hell of a recap for everyone next week because
Oh, God.
Felix had to leave early and
Uh-huh.
fucking Mark wasn't here.
Mark
Mhm.
has got no clue what he's about to come into.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
he's
God.
gonna. Yeah, we're
I
going
need to
into
catch
a,
up on my
a
videos.
multiplanar fight, and he's gonna be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Oh, yeah.
I will say, above game, and this will be true for next session too. This fight is yours. I'm gonna focus on getting everyone not kneeling. This fight is yours.
It might be.
I will not step in unless you tell me to step in.
It might be an idea.
Oh, God.
I
Okay.
will not step in unless you tell me to step in. And Alden will verbalize that to you because this is your mentor, your history.
Hmm.
Same would happen if, like, Roland tried to fight us, he'd be like, "No, this is my fight. Like, unless I want your help, this is my fight."
I mean,
The rest of us
Exactly.
will handle Alfred.
I
What-
would
Not to give you ideas, Andrew.
No, you already gave me plenty of ideas in a
I mean-
fight against Roland. And
wasn't it
it's
your guys' mother that I
courtesy
freaking
of-
like choked out?
It is completely courtesy of your discussion about contracts. For starters, I kept forgetting about existing contracts and Pete and you owing favors and so on and so forth. So that'll come back into it at some stage.
I owe a single favor.
Yes, to Zariel. I haven't
And
Okay.
also to the people in the Watchtower, and you've definitely signed on with the Emporium. That doesn't have any like
That doesn't
standing
have any
power.
strings. That doesn't have any strings. That's literally just you're gonna get punished if you don't pay for goods and services, and people who don't pay for your goods and
Be
services.
right
will
back,
also
guys.
be punished.
Correct. So, Mahadi's is literally just a services contract.
Yeah. His has-
Guys, okay.
and neither
Um,
does the dock. The dock is
Oh
like,
boy.
they will provide
So that's interesting. If you've been kind of keeping along,
just, like, in-
we've been chasing after Agni's mentor for a little bit. We've been kind of heading that way. Just been trying to find him.
like, just this one
And we found him.
Never said
Not the way I was thinking, but we found him. We're gonna see where this goes. Looks like he's got the bow I want.
unless we found
I've got some thinking to do on what's gonna happen. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting next session. I'm gonna definitely try get the videos that I've been slow on for YouTube up, so you guys can kind of go back and watch those. But yeah, oh man, this is gonna be interesting. I'm excited. I'm excited for this, but I'm also very nervous on what's gonna happen.
You get a window to
Yeah,
get that
thank-
original contract, but it requires you signing another
Yeah,
contract.
we're gonna end this.
You carry your second
I thank you guys for chilling with the story, the ups and downs, the the bullshit that we go through, the chaos. Things are getting interesting, especially for Agni. So yeah, thanks guys. We'll be here. I should get all the. I need to try to get all the videos back up, so we can go back. If anyone wants to go back and watch those and catch up, they'll be on Sound Scroll YouTube. So yeah, check those out. Thank you all, and yeah, we'll be back next week. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.